working at home to use the Ministry of Education's online platform. However, for the second day in a row, the system failed once again. That's right, you heard us. It failed once again. Now, we have been inundated with calls from frustrated parents that have been left to wonder just what's next. After going a second day without being able to access the Ministry of Education's online platform, they said that no one has been able to give real answers to their concerns, leaving many, of course, frustrated. I'll give you this example. One parent I talked to said she just shut it off. She absolutely shut it off. She called me, she said, "Clint, it's a mess." I said, what's the problem? She said, they put passwords on social media for people to follow to log in, right? She said, matter of fact, logging on, she alleges, were people from all over the world. She said Americans, other people were logging in because somehow the user IDs and passwords got out. So people other than those who should be using the platform were accessing the Ministry of Education's platform. Then she said people were making up sign-in names using profanity. He said, "Clint, it was just disastrous. You couldn't get on. I tried bringing up the system several times. You got errors." She said, "Just shut it down. I shut it off, and I just told my child, go find something constructive to do." That's unfortunate. A second day, and like we heard last night from the president of the Bahamas Union of Teachers, Belinda Wilson, no one's saying anything. No one's saying what the plan was for day two. No one is telling them anything. No one's saying what they should expect. There's complete silence on this issue. Well, beyond the headlines and Eyewitness News, we go further. And that is what we did. Join me to talk about an investigation that we partnered with them with. Of course, is our Beyond the Headlines, I call him now our investigative contributor, Mr. Lincoln Bain. Lincoln, thank you for joining me on the show.
Hey, thank you for having me, man.
Lincoln, your findings were unbelievable. You went on and decided to find this company, right?
Yes.
To find out who this company is, who these people are that we're investing, obviously, a huge chunk of money on the education of thousands of our young people in. Mm-hmm. What did you find?
Listen, our investigation took us all the way to Jamaica, which was shocking to me because you went to Jamaica to find someone who could do a platform and there are Bahamians who could do it. And because it bothered me that I didn't hear any tender, as it relates to this. And so that's disturbing that this government keeps doing that. We keep hearing them do stuff, but no tender. And so we went, we contacted them, we called them, and, there was no way to get them by phone. That's our experience. And so on the message, it said to go to the WhatsApp. They gave a WhatsApp number that you must contact. It's also on their website. And that you must call WhatsApp this number to get immediate response. And so that's what we did. My Lord, that was a conversation that absolutely blew my mind. And I'm at this point wondering if this is a legitimate company based on the conversation that we had with them.
What were some of the things that you said? Could we do have some screenshots we're going to show as you talk?
Yeah, man. I mean, first of all, we posed as someone wanting to get the system, and they asked us where we were located. And so once we told them where we were located, we told them, I said, we want to offer an online schooling to a private school group in the Bahamas. Once we said Bahamas, listen, these people stopped responding.
You see everything. Hello.
Yeah.
Are you there?
For like
Hello.
10 minutes. Once I said Bahamas, this person kind of disappeared until I said, I guess you've made enough money from the Bahamas. And then they responded. They said, please be reminded that this is a platform that is used to respond to multiple requests of customers. This is WhatsApp.
You will be responded to within the order of your request.
What order is this? So I told them I don't want technical support. I just want some pricing. And so we went on, we went back and forth. They couldn't tell me the pricing because they didn't know. And I'm like, this is your company. You don't know pricing of your product, etc. So we had a little back and forth. And at certain points, again, they wouldn't respond. And I got to the point where I just wanted to know. I said, okay, how much did you charge the Ministry of Education in the Bahamas? We can entertain a similar price for our private sector. All right? Because I told them that their company's already in business. This is stuff that you should really know. All right? And they said that they were responding to your company is already in business. So they said, yes, we do. But this business was not one that was asked about. And so basically they were saying that they got the contracts after months and months of going back and forth, is what they said there. And so I went on. I said, this is the big kicker. I said, do you have an example in the Caribbean that I can use for reference where your system is operating? It has not worked as yet in the Bahamas, just a due diligence question. So they answered me. They said Jamaica, which is where the company is located, and it has already been operational in the Bahamas. What? So, so I said Jamaica is using Google Glass because that's what our investigation showed. In the Bahamas, it is not operating yet, sir/ma'am. They didn't answer. I said, hello? So they answered, the question that you have will be better answered by someone with more details as it relates to this portion of the business. I said, sorry, but now I am concerned because you lied to me about your system being operational in the Bahamas. So they said, are you asking or are you telling me about the operations of one-on-one educational services? So I responded, I am telling you that it is not working in the Bahamas. And so before that I had posted, I said, you also claim that on your website that your system is the leading system in the Caribbean. No. Sorry, now you say it is only used in Jamaica. So they're making claims on their website
that are not factually based.
That are not based on fact. You know, and this is disturbing. I mean, you could continue to see this. We have this on our website, BahamianEvolution.com, and you can see the rest of it is also on our YouTube page. Listen, this is absolutely mind-blowing.
And this is what we are using to educate our young people.
And I have
and
to tell
God
you,
knows how much we paid for it.
Yes, that's the question. Why isn't the government telling us how much they paid for this? Why all this secrecy?
And something that's not proven, because this is the second day and it's still not working.
Yeah. And so they asked me, what's the purpose of this conversation? Is there anything that we can be able to assist you with? I said, because they asked me my name over and over. I said, listen, my name is Bahamian Evolution. Remember that. You will hear it again. I said, on behalf of the Bahamian people, we officially request a full refund goes to our Ministry of Education effective immediately. And they said, have a nice day. And I said, on behalf of the Bahamian people, CYC, meaning carry your company.
Wow.
And they responded, I'm not sure what CYC means, but thanks. And same thing, thanks.
You too.
You too.
Doesn't seem to be some credible company who's obviously having this kind of conversation back and forth on WhatsApp. No official number to call. They can't provide information, and they can't give you any concrete information as to their proven record, what is going on. No, I'm surprised they said, you asked them, are you a salesperson? They said, oh, well, you know, we could put you on to a salesperson. We could put you on.
Well, first they were a salesperson.
Then they switched it when you
and then when I exposed them, then they said, well, I'm not a salesperson, because they wouldn't tell me their name. I said, you're a sales representative and you won't tell me your name? Then they said, well, I'm not a salesperson. It's like they were just running and dodging. Clint, how is it that the government didn't question these people beforehand? How is it that they didn't ask them for their track record? If you have a system that is working anywhere else, listen, I'm an IT professional. If you have a system that is working anywhere else, you don't even need to test that.
Right.
WhatsApp don't need to test in the Bahamas versus in the US. It's just a system.
Yeah.
It works. So what is this that's happening? Maybe we're their first client. Even on their website, they claim to have all of these government clients and all of these business clients and clients in these different countries. These are questions we have to ask.
Because in their answer response to you, it was only in Jamaica.
Yeah. How do we keep getting ourselves in this situation? It's corruption, in my mindset. Because one, this should have gone out to tender. There are many talented Bahamians who can do this. And if they can't do it, they can go to India and hire the people who can do it. They have the business ability to do that.
How do we know, for transparency purposes, that this is a company that actually the ministry is using for their online platform?
Well, because they had the conversation with me, and they claimed that they, in the conversation, that they did do business with the Bahamas, and they got a contract from the Bahamas. Also, the ministry says that they're using one-on-one.
The ministry said it.
Yeah,
That's important to know.
Yeah,
the ministry said that's who they're using.
Yeah, they're using one-on-one, and so we track. That's how we found this company, based on the information from the Ministry of Education, that they're using this company.
And like you said, something very important initially, because we're using a foreign company, clearly. Did we rule out the fact that Bahamians could have designed a platform like this or use a platform like this? And again, when was this ever gone on to tender? So that you had the opportunity for other companies, other IT professionals in the country to bid and to say, listen, we can put together a platform. Did we ever hear about that?
Listen, we could find a lot of Jamaicans who may be able to beat us running, but we cannot find Jamaicans who can beat us at programming or doing anything else. There's nothing that they can program that we can't program. They're not better than us. How did you get to Trinidad for body cams? How did you now get to Jamaica for an online virtual platform? How did you do that? You know, when did this go out to tender? I didn't see it. All right, I look for these kinds of things. When did this go out to tender? You know, this is disgraceful, and this cannot happen. Why? You know, I don't blame other governments. You know, this government promised to be transparent. That was their promise. Other governments didn't promise that.
Right.
They
This will be their
promised
hallmark.
that. Yes. But now we're seeing so much secrecy, and then when we tried to reach out to the Minister of Education and other persons in the media did too, no answer. He had no comment. How could you not comment when people's children are at home and we're trying to get this right?
Well, and see, this is the thing about it. You don't mind if the entire country is in this position, but they're not. Private schools are teaching. Private schools, kids are going to school, they're learning. So your child, if it's on the public platform, is being left behind because the private schools have begun teaching. Matter of fact, they're almost to midterm now. It's October.
Yes.
And here, the public school system is still trying to get on to begin classes, which means it's putting your child at a disadvantage, which indeed is not fair.
Google Class is free.
Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah.
It works very well. You don't need to test it in the Bahamas. It just works.
Many schools, they're not shaming their game. Many private schools are using it.
Wow.
They're using it, using other platforms as well. Because at the end of the day, you've got to find a way to educate the children, seeing that they can't do face to shut that down, for Providence in particular. So they have to find a way to make it work. And it's sad that on day 2, still challenges. No one's communicating, saying how long it's going to take to fix. How are we going to fix it? What's going on? No one's saying anything. It's just every day, let's try and see if we get on. What's going to happen? When is enough going to be enough? Who's going to demand? I would have thought by now the Prime Minister would have stepped in and said, no, Minister of Education, I need answers, and I need answers right now. No. If y'all can't get it fixed, let's move to another portal and let's get this going. But I'm surprised that he has such a long rope to go with just nobody saying anything. And we're now into the second week of school, day 2 of which will be teaching classes, responds as to why the system isn't working.
The minister we can't reach the minister probably because he can't reach them. Maybe he can't reach them because, as we can see, you can't get them on the phone.
Yep.
And 2, you're talking to them on WhatsApp. The minute you say Bahamas, whoop, silence.
Yeah, this has been pure failure. And I think there ought to be a public disclosure as to what the ministry paid for this platform, why they chose this company, based on what record they chose this company on. So we can get some answers. Our students need to be in class. Our children need to be taught. And if we can't find a platform that works, we have to find another way to deliver education to them. But they can't just be sitting by idly while an administration tries to figure out how to play online with education.